This week on Life in the Park, former St. Louis Park swimming instructor Bob Erickson takes a plunge into the then and now of Minnesota high school swimming, saying thanks to our mayor Jeff Jacobs, and yes, it's going to snow. Plus, more news you can use.
Welcome to this week's edition of Life in the Park. I'm Scott Smith. In our cover story, former St. Louis Park educator and swimming instructor Bob Erickson discusses his new book, Minnesota Splash, High School Swimming Then and Now. That's coming up, but first, here's news you can use. As we all know, St. Louis Park Mayor Jeff Jacobs will be leaving office at the end of the year. On December 3rd, you are invited to honor our outgoing mayor for his many years of public service to the St. Louis Park community. The celebration is planned for Thursday, December 3rd, 5 to 7:30 p.m. at the Minneapolis Marriott West, 9960 Wayzata Boulevard in the park. A program will take place from 6 to 6:30 p.m. Tickets are available at the address on your screen, or you may also find a link on the city website, stlouispark.org. You won't want to miss this event. Please RSVPs by November 30th. So there's no snow on the ground yet, but it's time to think winter activities for the kids and the whole family. Winter Parks and Recreation Program registration is now open. Visit webtrack.stlouispark.org to view the wide variety of programs and special events being offered December through March of next year. Check out all the winter activities today at webtrack.stlouispark.org. Well, as mentioned, no snow on the ground yet, but we know it's inevitable. The city declares snow emergencies when snow totals are predicted to reach approximately 3 to 4 inches or more. During a snow emergency, you must park your vehicle off the street to avoid ticketing and towing until the street is plowed to the curb. Well, you may ask, how do I know if a snow emergency is in effect? Well, you can sign up for Park Alert at www.slpsnow.org. Choose how to be contacted by text message, email, cell phone call, landline call, or all of the above. You may download the My St. Louis Park app in iTunes or Android store for free. The app will display an alert when a snow emergency is in effect. Check the city's social media sites, local media, or call the winter parking hotline at 952-924-2180. Remember, the city removes snow even when there is not a snow emergency. Moving your car off the street anytime it snows will help the city to do a better job of plowing the streets for you. Hey, for your entertainment, the St. Louis Park High School Theater presents the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. 6 eager competitors will vie for the title of Spelling Bee Champ. Along the way, they face fears, form friendships, and find out there's more to life than winning. Like the original Broadway version, the St. Louis Park High School production will include audience volunteers as Spelling Bee contestants. Evening performances of Spelling Bee are November 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st at 7 p.m. The family-friendly matinees are November 15th and the 22nd at 2 p.m. All performances will be held in the high school auditorium located along the West 33rd Street entrance. Tickets will be available at the door, or you can purchase tickets in advance online at slpspellingBee.eventbrite.com. Park TV has a few openings for volunteer announcers for a number of high school sports teams this winter. If you'd like to give sports play-by-play announcing a try, please contact Paul Broden, Park TV 16 program producer, at 952-924-2635, or shoot him an email at pbroden@stlouispark.org. The Minnesota chapter of the American Public Works Association Awards Committee has selected the City of St. Louis Park's Highway 7 Louisiana Avenue Interchange project, managed by SEH Incorporated, as a recipient of the 2015 Minnesota Chapter APWA Project of the Year Award. Whew. Projects that receive the Project of the Year Award typically involve innovative project management, financing, and multi-agency participation, and provide future value to the public works profession and perception by the public. They also take social, economic, and sustainable design considerations into account. That same project also received an award of merit in the category of highways/bridges for ENR Midwest's Best Project Competition. The competition's jurors, all design and construction professionals, reviewed scores of entries for Midwest's Best Project Competition, putting this project in very rare company. Deborah Heiser, the city engineer director for the city, stated, We're so pleased with this recognition and know that it wouldn't have been possible without every department's support. Very true. The City of St. Louis Park has proclaimed Saturday, November 28th as Small Business Saturday to demonstrate St. Louis Park's support for small businesses and to encourage people to shop small and local. According to American Express, who started the event in 2010, 88 million people nationwide showed up last year to shop local on Small Business Saturday. So if you're a business owner, you can get started today by applying for free marketing materials that will help inspire your customers to shop small for all. To apply, visit the website on your screen. That is a long one. In this week's cover story, former St. Louis Park swimming instructor Bob Erickson has been immersed in many facets of swimming since his lifeguard training 65 years ago. He's been a coach, official, pool director, instructor, pool architect, and designer. He's recently published a book called Minnesota Splash and takes a plunge into the then and now of Minnesota high school swimming and diving. And he explains why Minnesota swimming and diving is unique nationally. Park TV's Reg Dunlap was at the book signing on November 5th.
When Mim and Joni put this together, they said, bring your book along, and if you want, you can read a few chapters. So that's what I'd like to do tonight. I guess we won't, Mim, so there you are. I'm usually asked, why did you write this book? And the simple answer is, it needed to be done. It hasn't been done before. And Minnesota, through the Minnesota State High School League, has some books on tennis, they have some books on hockey, books on baseball, but nothing on swimming. And I met a man by the name of Jam Handy. He was an industrial engineer out of Detroit. And he wanted to swim in the Olympics in 1912 and 16. And back then, when everybody swam, it was just in a big pile of water and you swam with the head up. And he said, if I could put my head in the water, I could go faster. So for a number of months, he practiced swimming this way, but he said, I got to get a breath in there somehow. And so he worked more and more on it, and then he said, oh, I'll get a breath this way. Jam Handy developed rhythmic breathing so he could swim. Then he said, because we'll be all over pools and qualifying for the Olympics, I need to know where I'm going. So when I'm swimming, I need a guideline. Guess what he painted on the bottom of the pool? Lane lines. And Jam Handy more or less invented lane lines. And I don't think we have any of the girls' team here. I hope they have discovered that the St. Louis Park pool, the lane line ends, anybody remember how far from the end of the pool? Supposed to be 7, but our pool ended 5. And we always had, because everybody that swam there thought it was 7. And a lot of guys from the other teams banged their heads in there as such. The most famous pool is the one on the top of the cover of the book. Happens to be the Bowabic Pool. They built it in 1921, 25 yards long, first 25-yard pool in Minnesota. They said it is the best pool west of Chicago. And it had seating for 1,400 in the balcony around it. And so the Iron Range was known for swimming nationally. It led the country. And finally in 1924, the Minnesota State High School League said, we're going to have a state meet. And we're going to have it in Bowabic. And so the first state meet in Minnesota of any sport was swimming in the Bowabic Pool in March of 1924.
Thanks to Reg Dunlap for this week's cover story. Remember, you can keep up to date in the park by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/St. Louis Park or check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/St. Louis Park. So that's it for this week's edition of Life in the Park. Thanks for watching. Join us next week for another edition of Life in the Park right here on Park TV.
Hi, I'm Lisa Abernathy with your Rec Minute. The days are getting cooler and cabin fever will soon set in with those little ones. Come inside the Rec Center for some open play in the banquet room. Our Little Tot Playtime begins Wednesday, November 4th, and new this year will run Tuesdays through Fridays until the end of March. A variety of toys, riding cars, blocks, dress-up clothes, and more will be set out each time for little ones to enjoy. Cost is $2 at the door, or a punch card with 30 visits can be purchased for $40. Also, throughout the months, Little Tot Playtime will have visitors from the Westwood Hills Nature Center, Kid Create Studio, and Whole Foods. These visit dates will be announced in weeks before at the Rec Center. Plan a play date or make new friends at Little Tot Playtime. And as we enter the month of November, Thanksgiving will be on the minds of many, and so will a few days off of school for the kiddos. Come to the Rec Center on Wednesday, November 25th for Turkey Bingo starting at 11 a.m. The event is for youth ages 6 to 12 and they must be accompanied by an adult. Cost is $5 for a resident and $8 for a non-resident. Walk-in registrations can be taken if program is not full. Be ready to win some great prizes and learn a little something about the holiday of Thanksgiving. After bingo, there will be free ice skating and skate rental from noon to 1:30 p.m. This is also open to the public. Get out and skate before all the Thanksgiving festivities begin. Register online at stlouispark.org.